All right, let's try this again. Okay, so the first thing I did is I printed out my sheet here. You guys don't have to do this. You guys can look on the computer, but just for ease, I'm going to refer to this a few times throughout the drawing. So you guys should have the software downloaded, and you guys should have watched the video on the user interface. So you should have some familiarity with what we're doing. To start this drawing, we're going to create this spine that goes through the center of this drawing. So I'm going to begin here by selecting the line function. When I do this, I'm just going to come down here and click. Oh, looks like I didn't get it selected. Click on the line function. Okay. Then you can see that dotted green line that extends above the line there. It's because I have the snap on, and that helps keep the lines, vertical or horizontal. So what we're going to do here, we're going to enter our first dimension of 5, hit enter. Okay, we're going to come to the right here. Next dimension of 3.5. I enter it in decimals, 3.5. Enter. Okay, we're going to hit enter one more time because that's all we can do from that point. Okay, now if I hit enter again, it takes me back to the previous function that I used. As you see, as I get close, let's see here, there's the box that appears over that intersection there. That's also one of the snap functions. So now when we click there, it actually starts the line exactly where those two lines meet. Okay, now the thing is here is if we look at our drawing here, there's a measurement of 60 degrees between each of these, okay? And if we look on the screen here, I have a measurement for length in blue, and then there's also a box there that's giving me a measurement of the angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit 4 because that's the length. Now we're going to hit the tab button on your keyboard. What that does, that locks the length in at 4, and now you have the ability to change the angle there. Type in 60, hit enter. And I'm going to hit enter one more time because we're done with that one. Now if I hit enter again, it takes me back to the last function I used, line. And also if we look down here at the bottom of the screen, this is the taskbar. This tells you what function you're using at the time. Also gives you the ability to type in functions if the key is not visible in the user interface, or if that's how you prefer. You can type line, it will give you line. Okay, again, we're going to snap to that point there. Click the mouse. We're going to pull the line out a little ways. This line is going to have a length of 3. Now, if we notice here on the angle, let me move the cursor so you can see, the angle is being measured off of the horizontal line there, okay? If we look at our drawing, it's given off of the last line we put in. So we're going to do 60 plus 60. I know you got to do a little math, so we're going to type in 120. We'll hit enter. Hit enter one more time. Now we have the bones of this thing put together. Okay, now if you're using a mouse, which I prefer and I recommend as to trying to use a touchpad to draw, as you can see there, I'm zooming in, zooming out. That's being done by rolling the scroll wheel on the mouse, okay? All right, so what we're going to do here, next we're going to select circle. We've got to put the circles in for these holes that are going to be cut in this part. We're also going to put in circles here for the end. So I'm kind of going to go through this a little fast. I'm going to explain it as I go. One thing, when you select a circle, if you notice where the dimension's being taken from, it's always going to be in radius initially. You guys should remember from geometry, radius is just half the diameter. You can do those halves if you can do it quickly in your head. If you'd rather stick with diameter based on what's listed on the drawing, if you just type D and hit enter, now it will give you diameter. Okay, so the first circle we're going to do is 1. Okay, and then you can either click up on the taskbar or you can hit enter again. The next circle's 2, hit enter again. Now we're back on the circle. Okay, I'm going to hit diameter again. This one's 3/4. Okay, the thing is here, you can enter these in 2 ways. You can either do 3/4 for the diameter, or now this larger circle is 1.5 inches. You can do 1.5. You can do it as a decimal. Oh, see, look, teacher made a mistake. I didn't switch to diameter. And delete that real quick. Snap back here to the end. Hit de-enter. 1.5. Oh, that looks better. Hit enter again. Now we're on circle again. Notice how that it snaps to the end point there with that green square. Okay. Diameter. Okay, this one has a diameter of 1/2. So again, you can do 1/2, or do this one here. This one's also 1/2. De-enter. You can do 0.5. Okay, same. We're gonna hit enter one more time. We're gonna do these circles at the end. They're 1 inch. Okay. So if I'm gonna do radius, I just do 0.5 radius. Hit enter again. This one I'll switch back to diameter. Okay, diameter 1. Okay, we went through that fairly quick. Okay, now what we're gonna do, now we have kind of the bones of this thing. Okay, but we need the lines connecting on the outside of these circles. Okay, we're actually gonna use a function called the offset, which up here is the offset. And the nice part about AutoCAD is if you hold your cursor over the key you're trying to use, it will pop up with a description. The description will also give you some information on how the key works. So I'm going to select offset. Okay, now I'm going to do an offset distance. So this line here, we need to offset to here, which is 1 inch, and offset to here, 1 inch. Okay, so we're going to type 1, hit enter. Now you select the line. You move to one side, it will offset. Select the line again, move to the other side, it offsets. And we're going to hit enter because we're done with that dimension. Hit enter again. Our next offset is going to be 0.75. Hit enter. It'll be here and here. Okay, enter. Next offset is 0.5. And we'll finish up these 2 parts of this crank arm. Okay, now we've done the offsets. Now we do a little bit of cleanup. We've got to extend this line longer so it intersect, or it ends at the line here. Okay, our next function that we're going to use is the trim and extend function. So first we're going to use extend. Okay, so I'm going to click on extend. I'm going to select this line here because this is where I want my boundary. This is like my fence. Select that one, hit enter. Now I'm going to select the line I want to extend. Click it, hit enter because I'm done with that. Now we can go through, and now we're going to go back up here. We're going to select the side of enter. We're going to extend, select trim. Okay, the trim function is a really neat function. So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to go through a couple of these one at a time and then kind of explain it to you. So I'm going to select these 2 lines here. Okay, these lines are like my boundary. Now I'm going to hit enter. Now if I select the circle out here, it's only going to trim from the ends of these lines in between them, so it'll trim that part off. We want that part though. We want to trim this inside off. So I'm going to click on that. See how it disappeared? Okay. Now we're going to hit enter again. Okay. I'm going to select these 2 lines here. Hit enter. Now we're going to trim. Okay. Enter again. Okay. Selected my boundaries. Hit enter. Now I can trim that. I can actually trim this one while I'm here as well. Okay. Hit enter. Enter again. Select my boundaries. Hit enter. Okay. Trim the circle. Trim the straight lines. Enter an additional time. Okay. So I'm going to throw this one in here too. We're going to get this done right now. I'll trim that. Trim this. Also trim that. Okay. Hit enter. Now we've got this drawing looking a lot better. I'm going to zoom a little different here on this. Okay. Okay, now what we want to do, we're done with this frame in the center. So we're going to click on that. We're just going to click on each of these lines when they highlight. Now we're just going to hit the delete key on our keyboard and remove those. Okay, last thing that we have to do, if we look at the drawing, there's these fillets right here, these rounded corners. Okay, so we're going to hit the fillet function. It also tells us that they're common, that all fillets are at 1/2. So what we're going to do is we want to adjust the radius. We're going to type R. If we look down here in the function toolbar, it has underline, polyline, radius, trim, multiple. We want to set the radius. So we're going to type R, hit enter. Okay. Like I said, we can do 1/2 for 1/2, or we can do 0.5, whatever you prefer. Okay. Now for this function, we're just going to click the lines that we want the radius to happen on, and it will do it. Okay. After it does one, it's going to reset to a standard cursor there, no function. I'm going to hit enter again. It'll give you the radius. You've already set the dimension. So now you just go through and you radius your part here. Okay. All right. Now we've completed drawing one. One thing that I want to do is I'm gonna add a little step here that's actually not listed on the write-up for this assignment or on the drawing for this assignment. But what we're going to do is now we have a drawing that actually with an additional step, we can take this drawing and we can take it out and we can integrate this drawing into our Torchmate CNC and actually cut this part out. So the only thing is our line type here. As we draw over this, there's a bunch of line segments linked together here to make the outside of this part. Okay, so the function we're going to use, we want to join those all together so they're one solid line. I like how the circle, when you put your cursor over the circle is just one solid line. Okay, so I'm going to type in the word join and hit enter. Okay, I could go through and try and select all these pieces, but if I miss a piece, it's going to be a headache. So I'm just going to drag a box around here, select it all, I'm going to hit enter. Okay. Now if we look here, look, it joined it into two segments, didn't join it completely. So we're just going to hit enter one more time. That'll bring the join function up again. Click on both parts, hit enter. There we go. Now we got it to join. Okay. So this part at this point is actually ready to be used for a Torchmate cutout to create a toolpath. Okay, when you guys save this, I'm going to do a save as here. So this is actually the second time that I've done this drawing because the first time I tried to do SharePoint, I was not recording. So if we look here, the way I've saved this is AET 15 _CO1 _Chris, my first name, _Cheney _assignment 1. I would like it saved in this format or something very close to this so that I know who turned the drawing in and what drawing it is. There should be a Dropbox online to place this drawing in. Additionally, I would like you to save it in your portfolio so that I can access your portfolio and you can also access it and see these drawings even after you've finished with the class. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just save this. Mine's going to ask if I want to replace it. I'm going to select yes, so it has the same file type. One additional thing, we're going to go back to save as here. Now, if we want to use this in Torchmate, one thing is Torchmate doesn't like these files with this DWG at the end. Okay, so we're going to go down here. File type we need is DXF. So here, .dxf. I'm just going to click on that. We're going to save it additionally as a DXF. Okay, so now we have the file type that we need. We have the line type that we need to integrate this into Torchmate. If you guys are interested in seeing how this process works, this Saturday, let me look at my calendar here, April 14th, I will be in the welding shop all day, but I would like you to come by about 10 o'clock and we'll go through the process of creating a toolpath and we'll actually cut one of these out. So if you guys would like to, please come in and we'll do that kind of as an addition to this. And as we go through these 2D drawings, any of these that work out well to cut and present some slightly different challenges, I'll invite you to come out and do that. If you guys have any questions about the drawing or need any help, please let me know and we will make arrangements. I'm out here teaching Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, 5:30 to 8:30, on Saturdays from 8 to 5:30. Additionally, you can find me during my office hours. If you guys have any issues, just contact me via email or give me a call and we'll see what we can do. Thank you and good luck on the drawing.